You've probably heard it a lot, that love completes you. But what if that's actually one of the biggest red flags? What if real connection isn't about becoming one, but staying two? A lot of us grew up with this idea that a true relationship is when someone fills your missing pieces, like two halves finally forming a whole. It's poetic, sure, but also deeply misleading. Because when you enter love from a place of lack, you're not meeting someone as you are. You're handing them a job. Fix me. And that's where most relationships start to break. They look perfect on the outside. Vacation photos, my person captions, matching tattoos. But underneath, it's two people clinging to each other to avoid their own reflection. The relationship becomes a patch, not a platform. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who gave us concepts like the shadow, individuation, and the collective unconscious, believed that the soul's goal isn't to merge with another, but to fully realize itself. And paradoxically, that's what allows for real love. Not needing the other to fill you up, but choosing them because you're full already. This video is going to walk you through 10 signs of a genuine and healthy relationship, guided by Jung's depth psychology and infused with insights from modern consciousness work. But this isn't just about theory or feel-good advice. These signs might actually challenge what you've been taught about love, what you think it should look like, and how it should feel. So, stay with me till the end, because the last few signs might turn everything you think you know about relationships upside down. Let's begin with the first sign. 1. You're not trying to complete each other. The idea of completion is romanticized in pop culture, but in Jungian terms, it's a misunderstanding of wholeness. Jung believed that each person contains both masculine and feminine energies, the animus and anima. We're born with everything we need to become whole. The journey is inward, not outward. So when you're in a healthy relationship, you're not looking to be completed. You're not searching for someone to save you from loneliness or your own insecurities. Instead, you're two whole people choosing to walk alongside each other, not leaning on one another out of need, but sharing the path out of love. This kind of relationship feels different. There's less pressure, less fear of loss, less obsession with fixing or molding each other. You both know, I'm not half, I'm whole, and so are you. 2. You grow through your triggers. Let's be real. Being in love doesn't mean you won't get triggered. In fact, real intimacy will bring your stuff up. That's the gift. Jung called this the shadow, all the parts of ourselves we've rejected, denied, or disowned. And relationships are mirrors. They reflect our shadows with uncomfortable clarity. But in a genuine relationship, triggers aren't seen as threats. They're seen as invitations. You don't run from discomfort. You use it to grow. Instead of blaming your partner, you ask, what is this showing me about myself? Growth becomes shared, not just tolerated. Before we continue, if you're someone who loves expanding your mind and exploring the deeper layers of life, make sure to subscribe to Fractal Wisdom so you never miss a journey like this. And stay until the end of the video, because when we get to sign number 10, you might finally understand why the healthiest love is the one where you never lose yourself in the first place. And now, let's continue to sign number 3. Your shadows are safe here. Most people only show their polished parts in love, the kind, funny, charming surface. But your shadow, that's the raw, authentic, vulnerable, and tender stuff underneath. The insecurities, the jealousy, the fear of being too much or not enough. Jung said the shadow isn't something bad we must get rid of. It's just unacknowledged. And when we push it away, it doesn't disappear. It shows up in our relationships. But in a genuine relationship, you don't have to hide. There's room for all of you. Your weirdness, your childhood wounds, your contradictions. You don't feel like you need to be on your best behavior 24/7. Because real love isn't about performing. It's about being seen, even when you're unraveling a little, and still being met with softness. When both people allow their shadows to come out without judgment, healing happens in real time. You stop wearing masks, you stop pretending, you feel free. And that freedom is what makes the love deeper, not weaker. 4. You support each other's individuation. One of Carl Jung's core teachings was that each person's true psychological and spiritual goal is individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are. Not who society expects you to be, not who your parents raised you to be, but the unique expression of your deepest self. In unhealthy relationships, individuation feels threatening. Your growth might scare your partner. Your change is seen as betrayal. You're expected to shrink, stay the same, or limit your evolution to keep things comfortable. But in a conscious, healthy bond, your evolution is encouraged. Not only is it allowed, it's celebrated. You support each other's paths, even when they diverge. There's no fear of outgrowing each other because you're both committed to becoming your most authentic selves, with or without each other. That kind of freedom within connection, that's where the magic lives. 5. Silence isn't awkward. Let's talk about being quiet, because silence in relationships often gets misunderstood. People think if the conversation pauses, something's wrong, that it means you're growing apart or getting bored. But actually, silence can be one of the most sacred signs of closeness. In a real connection, you don't need constant noise to feel okay. You can sit in stillness without needing to fill the air. There's no performance, no pressure to entertain, just presence. A quiet, shared understanding. That level of comfort comes when both people feel safe, not just to talk, but to not talk. To rest in each other's energy without scrambling for words. In Jungian psychology, this speaks to a deeper merging of the conscious and unconscious, the unspoken harmony beneath the surface. 6. You don't idolize each other. This might sound strange at first because, isn't it good to admire your partner? Of course. Respect, admiration, and gratitude are essential. But idolization? That's something else. When you idolize someone, you don't see them. You see a projection. You craft a fantasy and pour it over a real, imperfect person. You expect them to be your savior, your perfect parent, your source of eternal validation. And when they can't live up to that, the fall is hard. Jung warned us about this. He talked about projections, how we often cast our unconscious desires or wounds onto others. We don't love them. We love the idea of them. And this projection eventually collapses, leading to disappointment, resentment, or even betrayal. In a healthy relationship, though, you deconstruct the pedestal. You allow your partner to be human, flawed, evolving. You don't need them to be perfect, just real. You love them with their wounds, not in spite of them. And they love you back the same way. This mutual de-idolization is powerful. It means you're no longer trapped in illusion. You're relating soul to soul, not ego to ego. 7. There's a shared sense of purpose. This is one of those signs that often goes unnoticed in the early stages, but it becomes vital as the relationship matures. See, a genuine relationship isn't just two people vibing or living parallel lives under the same roof. There's an underlying why, a shared mission. It doesn't have to be grand or spiritual, although it absolutely can be. It might be building a home, supporting each other's healing, raising conscious children, or creating something meaningful for the world. When your lives align with purpose, your love deepens. You're not just in it for comfort or chemistry. You're building something that matters. You're serving something bigger than your egos. Jung would say this touches the transpersonal, the archetypal. Love becomes a vessel, not just for connection, but for contribution. And when things get tough, and they will, that shared purpose becomes an anchor. It reminds you why you're here together. It gives the relationship depth, direction, and soul. 8. You're honest, even when it's hard. This one's non-negotiable, because without honesty, there's no intimacy, only performance. In unconscious relationships, we tend to hide the truth to keep the peace. We tell little lies to avoid conflict, or big ones to protect our image. And the result? Emotional distance, resentment, and quiet corrosion. Healthy relationships do it differently. You speak your truth, even when it shakes things, even when your voice trembles, and even when it risks discomfort. Not because you want to provoke, but because you value authenticity over ease. And real honesty isn't just about the facts, it's about emotional transparency. I feel disconnected lately. I'm afraid I'm losing myself. I'm struggling, and I need your presence. This level of honesty isn't easy. It requires both partners to hold space, to not react defensively, but to listen with openness and curiosity. Jung talked about this too. The ability to face our inner truth and witness it in others without flinching. When two people can be honest and still feel safe, that's emotional alchemy, and that's spiritual partnership. 9. You can sit with each other's pain without needing to fix it. Most of us were taught that love means rescuing. If your partner is in pain, you're supposed to fix it, solve it, cheer them up. But here's the truth. Most of the time, we don't actually want solutions. We just want space. Safe space. Non-judgmental space. Someone who can hold us without rushing our healing. Carl Jung believed that healing often comes from integration, not interruption. And when you're in pain, it's not always a problem to be solved. It's a part of you rising to be held. In a healthy relationship, your partner doesn't panic when you're struggling. They don't try to slap a band-aid on your emotional wounds. They don't silence you with positive vibes only. Instead, they sit with you. They stay with you. They witness you. They say, I don't have to fix you. I just have to be here. This kind of presence is medicine, and it changes everything. Because when someone can hold space for your darkness without flinching, that's when real trust is born. 10. You don't lose yourself in the relationship. This might be the most important one of all. Because so many people, in the name of love, abandon themselves. They shrink. They shapeshift. They slowly become a stranger in their own life. And it doesn't happen all at once. It's subtle. You stop doing things you love. You water down your truth to keep the peace. You say yes when you mean no. You give more than you have. Until one day, you wake up and realize you've disappeared. But real love doesn't erase you. It amplifies you. A genuine, Conscious relationship makes you more yourself, not less. It invites your fullness. It honors your boundaries. It celebrates your individuality. It says, I love you as you are, not as I need you to be. Jung would say, this is the ultimate integration of opposites, union without fusion. You merge paths, but not identities. You walk together, not on top of each other. You belong to yourself, even in love. And that is the foundation of everything. So, let's take a breath here. If you've ever been in a relationship that left you feeling smaller, more confused, more disconnected from who you are, it's okay. That's part of the journey too. Sometimes we need to lose ourselves to learn how to come home. But now you have the signs, not rules, not checkboxes, but reflections of what love can really be when it's rooted in soul and awareness. Love that holds your shadow. Love that honors your truth. Love that doesn't try to save you, but simply walks beside you. And yes, these kinds of relationships are rare, but they're not impossible. They begin when you begin showing up like this, for yourself first, and then for others. You teach the world how to love you by how you love yourself. If this resonated with you, and if you're on a path of becoming more conscious, more whole, and more alive, then make sure to subscribe to Fractal Wisdom. This channel is here to challenge illusions, expand your mind, and remind you of what you already know deep down. You are already whole, and the love you deserve won't ask you to forget that. Thank you for being here. Stay curious, stay true, and most importantly, stay you.